think first of all, a good creative director has to be a good servant leader. What that means, and we talk about this a lot at our volume, is leading through serving, right? So understanding that I can't do everything, and also how do we service our clients. So a lot of times the creative director's job is understanding what the clients really need, right? For example, when a client says, we need to make a big installation or a big TV commercial that focuses on this product, it's up to the creative director to learn what the product is, why they need a TV spot, why they're coming to this company, why you. It's really up to the creative director to link arms with the client and allow the client to feel like, wow, this creative director understands what I need, not necessarily a style. It's not about a style, it's not about a tool, it's not about a style frame even. It's about like, what does this client really need? And this creative director takes that problem and then creates a solution. And sometimes that solution could be a 3D spot. Sometimes that solution could be an interactive wall. Sometimes it's so many things, but a creative director first and foremost is someone that takes a hard problem and creates a solution, but also in a lot of ways protects his team, because a junior designer doesn't know about that problem. All the junior designer sees is the really cool thing that he or she has to make. But all the way up the chain, it's up to the creative director to take this really hard problem that's like a pile of clay, that's nothing, and then slowly mold it into something and create something that he could give to his team. So a lot of the work that I do as a creative director is problem solving and creating great opportunities for my team that will excite my team, right? Not just me, but excite my team, right? What makes a great art director is understanding the world visually. Meaning, for me, I had the most fun as an art director every single day seeing what's new in the world of design, right? So every single day, my main job was making sure that I know everything that's happening in the design world, right? And that's something that I started even as a junior designer. And now I do even every day, or at least once a week, I spend 1 hour going down Pinterest and saving. And I have a very tight category list of like typography, layouts, 3D, film, photography, even like architecture design. I have really dense folders. And as an art director, it's more about kind of understanding that whole universe of design, so that when a creative director says, hey, art director, we have this ask and we have to solve this problem. The art director says, that's a big problem. How are we going to create that? I have an idea. I saw this thing last month from this artist. I saw this thing from this museum. I saw this thing from this fashion designer. Let's make those into one style, right? So it's up to the art director to really be the eyes and ears and put their ears on the ground and understand the pulse of design, not just motion design, but graphic design, architectural design, fine arts, sculptures, right? And that's a really exciting job to have, but also very important, very hard job to have. And it really is a mix between high-level thinking that's given to you from the creative director, but also relaying the right artistic solutions to your team. So the role of the creative director and the art director is so important. And sometimes those lines are blurred. For me, I come from design, so a lot of my work as a creative director still involves a lot of art directing, right? And it's different per studio, and I don't think there is like a perfect balanced model. But for me, I still love art directing, yeah. What makes a good designer is, I know this sounds hard, but you're a student. As a creative director, I'm still a student. And going back to that mentality of when I first graduated and went into the working field, I didn't intend to, but now I realize, wow, having that student mentality really helped me as a designer. Because nowadays I see so many designers being a little too picky. When their art director or creative director says, do this, do that, try this style, try that style. There's a lot of opinions, which is okay, But at that age and at that level, your job is to just extend your brain and extend your design capabilities, right? I think of it as like Batman's belt, right? Batman's belt. Imagine if you're flying and you're Batman and you have nothing on your belt. You're like, crap, there's no wire, there's no bomb, there's no nothing. But as a young designer, every single project is an opportunity to learn a new style. Every single project is an opportunity to learn a new process, right? So something new on your belt. Pop, 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 pop. So the biggest job as a designer, young designer, is just do as much as you can every single day. I'm not saying do everything, but don't turn away asks. Don't judge something because, oh, this feels outdated, or this, no, everything is a learning experience. If anything, you can strengthen your design principles, right? And use it as exercising. So that's the biggest thing for a junior or even a mid-level designer, is having a student mentality and always thinking of every single day as a learning opportunity. As an animator at Pixar versus an animator at Leica versus an animator at a design studio is very different, right? As a motion designer, again, I'll go back to the fact that the principles of graphic design is so important for a motion animator to understand, right? Because the principles of animation also, it's very hard, it's artful, right? It's also a muscle that you have to train. The more you do it, the better you get at it, right? So as much as animators focus on the principles of animation, pull and stretch and delay and anticipation, that's great. But what are you animating? You're animating design, right? So the more you understand good design, the more that influences how great your animation becomes, right? A good example is when I was a younger animator, at a certain point, I think when really glitchy animation became popular, I was glitching everything. You can give me a cute bunny and I'll glitch animate it, right? But that's not good design, right? What is design? Designing is solving a problem the right way, right? Solving an animation problem for a cute bunny is very different from solving a problem for a Nike logo versus a Call of Duty type, right? One deserves a cute human or organic feel. One deserves a very slick feel. One deserves a very uncomfortable, glitchy feel, right? And the better you understand design, the better as an animator you understand, oh, I have to design this animation this way, design this animation that way, design this animation this way. If you don't understand that, all you become is a trend writer. As an animator, you do this trend, you become like a feather in the wind. You have no real animation identity. So as an animator, your identity has to come in good design. Yeah. I can't emphasize the importance of that student mentality and always being driven by learning new things, right? If you lose that taste of learning and collaborating, you kind of lose the joy of design, right? And you stop growing, right? So I just feel like whether you're a creative director, art director, designer, junior designer, always wanting to learn more and elevate your craft, I think has no choice but to breed a culture of collaboration and kind of trust. So yeah, student mentality, I think, is very important.